This week on Checkpoint.
Have you seen me locked up? Have you seen me locked up? I'm asking you.
Not yet, they're still conducting their
Exactly, and I'm still carrying on.
He insisted his business was above board. But now Sean Westcott faces years in jail if found guilty of fraud.
Taking one person out of that equation is not going to bring an end to the scam. In order to bring an end to the scam, the hawks need to get to the people who are perpetuating it. And that appears to be run from El Dorado Park.
And later on in the show, Sisanda goes back to school.
Ungena wakhe esikoleni kungijabulise kakhulu because ngikwazile nami ukuthi ngithole umsebenzi.
Ufuna ukuba yini mase usuqedile ukufunda usumdala?
This is Checkpoint, and I'm in Ngepile Mabuse. Alleged con artist
Sean Westcott,
who was exposed by Checkpoint in October 2018, has been arrested and charged with fraud for running an illegal tracing agency claiming to track down people's unclaimed benefits and surplus pensions. After paying an administration fee and being promised hundreds of thousands of rand would appear in their bank accounts months later, many are still waiting. Producer Carla Hermanson and cameraman Tsepo Dlamini report on what's happened since we first told you about two fictitious tracing companies using the same modus operandi.
A divided courthouse sat anticipating a controversial bail hearing in the Vryheid Magistrates Court in KZN at the end of February. Some were supporting an alleged fraudster and others, the majority, were his victims, there to stare him directly in the face. Sean Westcott spent 12 days in holding cells before this bail appearance. His so-called tracing agency, Toversize, claims to be able to access people's unclaimed benefits and surplus pensions for them for an admin fee of 1,500 rand. Prosecutor Mlungisi Magwanyana says Sean used this tactic of unclaimed funds to lure potential clients in who believed they were being assisted. In court, Sean cut a very different appearance to the Sean Checkpoint first encountered in October last year.
Why haven't you given any of the clients the payouts?
I have obligations to my customer to keep quiet. Have you seen what a real person will happen to them? In the location, if they get 340,000 rand, what will happen? Have you stayed in the location? Have you stayed like them? Have you lived like them? I'm asking you.
You're promising them money and you're not giving it to them.
Have I promised you? Read your application. I have promised them nothing. Do you understand me?
You've promised people 480,000 rand, 300,000 rand.
Can you asseblief die mense verwyder uit my kantoor uit?
So we're not doing anything wrong.
Yes, you are. Thank you. And sit me down.
Sean dismissed the Hawks investigation.
All the answers you want. Have you seen me locked up? Have you seen me locked up? I'm asking you.
Not yet, they're still conducting their investigation.
Exactly, and I'm still carrying on.
Just over 3 months later, Sean was finally arrested. This video, pledging support to Sean the Saviour, features Vryheid locals testifying that Sean is a good Samaritan. It popped up on Facebook shortly after his arrest.
Sean Westcott approached New Hope Ministries last year and offered us an opportunity to take our children out on an adventure, all expenses paid.
He's very kind. I remember the other day, there was a guy outside who was very, very dirty, and he took off his t-shirt and gave it to him, and he also buy the food for him.
I think more he's rendering a service. People are too blind to see the good he's doing, educating the uneducated, helping those in need.
But Mbali Ngube, who spoke to us last year, has experienced a different side to Sean and Toversize. Over a year ago, she travelled from Kutu to Vryheid to find out whether her deceased father was owed any surplus pension money. She was promised 480,000 rand and told to pay an admin fee of 1,500 rand. She was told to expect the money within 6 months, but more than a year later, she's still waiting. Mkhanyiseli Mhlongo from Beguzulu near Vryheid is in the same position. He was promised 284,000 rand in surplus pension. That was in September 2017. He's still waiting. Prosecutor Magwanyana told the court he estimates Sean's fraudulent activity amounts to at least 5.8 million rand. Sean was granted 70,000 rand bail by Magistrate Jacobus Botha and was told to return to court in May.
You are not to operate the entity to oversize during the period that this matter is enrolled.
Mkhanyiseli was in attendance, but he's not pleased with the outcome.
Lomlungu lo isigebengu uSean ugcine eyitholile ibail ka 70,000. Yebo khona kuyilungelo lakhe ngokomthetho sisekelo weinkantolo eSouth Africa. Kodwa ngenxa yokuthi indlela adelela ngayo nangendlela asiphethe ngayo akakhombisanga any remorse even during ama proceeding a case.
He says Sean's staff aren't taking the order to close the business's doors seriously.
Bayaqhosha ukuthi balinde umphathi wabo uzophuma alishintshe igama lika Toversize basazoqhubeka basebenze.
Estella Naika, editor of the Vryheid Herald, confirmed the company has done this when told to shut its doors in the past. She's been investigating the company for months.
Taking one person out of that equation is not going to bring an end to the scam. In order to bring an end to the scam, the hawks need to get to the people who are perpetuating it. And that appears to be run from Eldorado Park.
Last year, the Lincoln brothers, Leon and Glenn, who run Donovan, professed their innocence in a phone call with Checkpoint. They distanced themselves from Sean, a one-time business associate of theirs.
And we have no association with Sean Westcott whatsoever, nothing. What is that company? Oversize. We have no relationship, no nothing. We actually chased him away from our company because he was troublesome.
In what way was he troublesome?
He was taking money from people and we don't like to deal with things like that.
But Donovan operates in the same way as Toversize, telling people they owed hundreds of thousands of rand and that all they need to do is pay an admin fee to access it. Crowds like this gather daily outside the Donovan office. Last year, we presented an ID and were told how much we're owed. Authentic tracing companies don't do this.
It's 240,000.
Okay.
So, it was 1.2.
Patricia Gladler, who runs a creche in Orange Farm, was also promised money, 210,000 rand, as far back as 2017, but she's yet to receive any of it. The morning after the Checkpoint episode broadcast last year, the Lincolns sent this voice note to their agents and employees.
Good morning, everybody. The show from Checkpoint last night on E-News has nothing to do with Donovan. Sean Westcott used to work for Donovan, but he opened up his own company. All allegations are directed directly at Sean Westcott and his company. Please forward off this to all your clientele. Our business is as usual. There is no fraudulent work being done by us.
Since then, we've secured an exclusive interview with one of their ex-employees, who we'll call Michael. We're concealing his identity and changing his name for his own safety. He confirms that the Lincoln's operation isn't above board and says he left because his moral conscience kicked in.
I asked many people
for how long they're waiting for answers or money, and they will tell me a couple of months, most of them was for 5 years, and that's why I start to make my own story up and say, tell myself, oh, no, something is wrong, this is not a good thing. And it's old people, disabled people, I mean, it's not fair. They're not showing any guilty conscience, nothing. So for me, they actually feel nothing for the people. It's they only feel for the money they're receiving from the people. Yes, people, no.
Paperwork, like the forms submitted by Patricia, isn't even submitted to pension funds, says Michael.
It's a lot of forms. And the cleaners, they send the cleaners to burn that papers out. So that indication shows me, no, people are not going to get a cent back of their money.
Leon posts videos like this one on Facebook, showing his company doing good deeds for the community. But Michael says it's all a ruse.
They are helping community where they will deliver bread to people on doorsteps, shops, and yes, they do that. But that is the whole attention of what they're busy doing from them, actually off them. That's what they're doing. They give a bread here, bread there. That doesn't make up for the millions they are stealing from people. So I don't care if they give bread to the whole community. It doesn't make up for their wrongdoings. Yeah, they call themselves the Guptas. People also around them call them the Guptas. It's because there's money, they have money.
Previously, Leon insisted to Checkpoint that Donovan has changed the lives of many over the years.
I mean, we've changed so much people's lives. People, their children are going to better schools these days. Their children are dressed better these days. It takes a lot of problems out of a whole lot of communities. We do a really good service, Stella.
It's all bull. Really, it's bull. The only lives they're changing is their lives and their families' lives. That's the only thing. And their friends. That's the only life he's changing. Nobody else's lives.
How is he changing his own life?
Because they all the money they get in, they go party, they do all the stuff with other people's money.
Michael believes Sean and the Lincoln brothers deserve a lengthy jail term.
They must go to jail for life because it's, like I said, it's hard-earned money of people and people that's buried already also. So they don't deserve 20 years or 15 years or 10 years even. They must go for life.
We reached out to Donovan Company Directors Leon and Glenn Lincoln's legal representative for a response to these new allegations. He had not responded to our request for an interview in time for this broadcast.
When we return, Fort Hare students and staff demand change after our broadcast, and academics urge the Minister of Higher Education and Learning to act.
The notion one is getting is that certainly women are living in fear on our campuses, and this cannot be tolerated.